day and more games to play. What's good, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you been, dude? What you been up to?
Doing all right, man. Just chilling. Had a nice little vacay. One, 2 days of work or whatever. So it was
Oh,
pretty
you
chill.
did?
Yeah. I went to to Legoland on Sunday to celebrate my son's birthday. And so
Okay.
we did like the day before, like trick or treating and stuff like that while we were there, because they had like candy and things like that they were doing. So we had fun with that, and then did a little trick or treating on Monday, and then just kind of chilled uh on Tuesday and Wednesday, and so went back to work on Thursday and then worked today. But been enjoying the time off.
So you only worked like a day? You went,
Basically.
you went back today?
Yeah. I worked yesterday. I went in yesterday, and then I worked from home today. So
Oh, you work
I
from
was
home
just
today.
chilling.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So
So they got you work from home now, huh? Is that you've been doing? Or?
I got me working from home.
You got you. What does that mean, dummy?
Like, just to be able to get like a couple extra hours in, and
Oh,
get
you
some
had to
other
like
little
ask
things
for it or
done.
something?
Yeah. Because they want to see you every damn day for some weird ass reason. You know what I
Oh yeah,
mean?
of
But
course. They want to make sure
yeah,
you're getting
so
their work done.
yeah,
They're
so
paying you.
just got to finish doing the work stuff, and so I'll leave like paperwork and stuff like that for me to do on the weekend so I can knock it
Oh,
out.
you leave some work for yourself to do on the weekend? I got you.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of times, like with my job, I got to run around and talk to people, get information, different things like that. Sometimes you can do it in email, but other times you got to go and see for yourself, So I do that stuff for the most part during the weekday, and then go to meetings and all that stuff. And then, on the weekends or my weekends, then I can just hit the paperwork up where nobody's gonna bother me because I'm not there. So I'm here, so they can't really like, hey, go take a look at this or whatever.
Right, I hear you.
So yeah,
That's
man.
cool, man. That's good. Got a little bit of work from home time.
Yeah. I didn't really get too much gameplay time. I played a little bit after work yesterday. And I played like some more Gotham Knights, but
Uh-huh.
I think I got
You got some hours into that now, huh? Yeah. So
quite a
any
few, I
updates?
guess. Huh?
Any updates on how you feel about it?
I still feel like it's cool. Like it's not as good as like Batman Arkham or whatever.
Arkham Knight, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like it's still a decent game. Like I wouldn't say it's like shit, but and I definitely wouldn't say it's like average. You know what I'm saying? I think that 7.5 type of score, is pretty accurate for it. Like it's cool. Like if something else comes along the way, I would end up stopping to play it. I still will go and play Naraka, but if nobody is on, I don't feel like running solos for Naraka, so I'll just play
Right.
Arkham Knights
I
and
see, I hear
whatnot.
you.
But I'm really just like trying to go through and finish the story. You know what I mean? And like hopefully, like I tried the multiplayer, the co-op. I didn't
Uh-huh.
get much time with it because I ended up having to go shortly after
So
I
you and your
in.
father-in-law was in
Yeah,
co-op?
yeah, because I don't know anybody else that got it.
Yeah,
But
whose world did you
at least
join?
for the Xbox, I joined his
Well, I thought you
because
had those homies that were playing it, so I thought maybe you played with them or something.
those aren't my friends; those are his friends. So I don't even
I
have
know.
them
Well,
on
I
my
thought maybe
list.
like because you had got it and they were playing it, like maybe like when you joined their group or whatever, like you just like they're like, "Oh, you got it, join in" or something, or I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, it's because I didn't add them to my friends list.
Oh, you didn't.
So yeah,
Okay,
I
I got
wouldn't
you.
even know if they were on or playing it or whatever. Like I wouldn't know they were on unless they were in his group chat and I was in there with him or whatnot. So I just I played a little bit with him, and you can maneuver through the area. It was definitely different. It felt a lot easier. I'm assuming just because I was more OP in his world than he was. So
Oh, so you
I
doing
was
his world,
knocking
yeah.
motherfuckers out with a couple punches, you know what I mean, and moving on to the next guy.
Because your
So
gear was higher, yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
got
So
you.
we were kind of clearing shit out pretty quick. The for the little bit of time that I was in there playing, but he was kind of having that same problem too, where it's just like a lot of guys. Like it's almost like they're saying, "Hey, play with somebody else, or just play on the easy version." Or whatever, you know, instead
Oh,
of
they were
like
like
the
telling them to
medium or
switch.
something. It, it
Yeah,
feels it feels like that, you know what I mean? Because as many guys as they're throwing at you, it's like, damn, I don't even know if crews really be that deep on certain shit, you know, in like real life. Like I don't think it's that many people, you know, it's too many possibilities for weak links. You know what I mean? Like a 30-man group is crazy. And
right.
and hearing yells, and then like a group of guys come, and then it's like boom, another group of guys come, and it's like, damn, I just done mopping the floor with these guys, and now I gotta run to get cover so that they can come in, spread out, and then I can try to work them individually. You know what I mean? It's like,
I hear
damn,
you.
like they put a lot
Yeah.
of shit on your plate, and they force you to, like, you know, to deal with all of it. And
Well, I remember you were saying that you thought the game would be better in co-op because of all the stuff they throw at you. Did it feel better, or does it still feel like ridiculous even with
No,
co-op?
no, it felt a lot better. It definitely, it's one of those things where you would probably, on like some real life shit, you would like assess the situation. You know, you scan, you ping all of the guys. You take the right side, I'll take the left or whatever. I got into the first
Right.
area with my father-in-law, and we didn't do none of that. So like I thought he was on the same like Batman type, you know, fucking Splinter Cell type shit that I was on. Like, go up into the Raptors and, you know, and start picking people off the moment you can, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
until the amount diminishes.
like
Nah,
the
dude, just
original, like the
I
original Arkham Knight.
yeah, I flew up to the rafters, man flies down to the floor and starts punching. I'm like, oh, so you just get into the shit? So I had to, you know, I had to like jump in so I can help out and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, you didn't aggro everybody, so I can't pick off anybody anymore. You know, I gotta
Yeah, you
I
can't
gotta get down and get
meticulously.
gritty.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, so it's like one of those things where you would just like talk the situation through. Like, okay, we're gonna go in here, you know, hide at the top, and then we'll try to pick off as many as we possibly can. You get spotted, you get spotted, but you know what I mean. We're gonna try to do this stealth
yeah,
like or whatever.
yeah, for
It
sure.
took like a cool minute for like certain abilities to activate. Like they have like a vantage point takedown or something like that, where if you're like over them, you could grab them and string them up. So how like with Spider-Man, you could just like, you know, snatch somebody, you know, pull them up to a pole, spin some web, and they're stuck up there or whatever.
Yes, yes.
So like you can do the same thing with
It's a
this.
skill though, right? It's a skill you have to get.
Yeah, you gotta like get one of the upgrade abilities or whatever to be able
Yeah,
to
so
get
I don't
them
have that ability
like
yet,
that.
but I figured it was
Yeah.
gonna be an ability.
But the problem with it is that it like really it high key sucks ass. Like it's a terrible ability to use if you in stealth
Really? Because it
whatsoever.
noted everyone sees it hanging or something?
Look, so you're at, so for one, it has to be like a perch point, you know, like you're off
Yes,
the wall. You can't
yes.
be on like a railing and do it, which is dumb. I don't understand why, because I could still hang somebody up. But basically, actually, I do know why. Physics. But basically, like he takes his like grappling hook or whatever, and he drops down, or actually he shoots it at the guy's foot, and then he jumps on the other side, and so it swings the guy upward, and he goes ah, and so he alerts
Oh,
the
he's
whole fucking
screaming.
building while
He's
he's shooting
screaming.
up to the sky,
He's
and then they're like,
screaming.
oh shoot, what's that, what happened, you know, and
It's
they come running over there, so you gotta like, you drop down, and then you
funny,
know
dude.
somehow he's like hooked up there, but now you gotta get the fuck out of there before it's too late, because you got the whole room on your
That
ass, you know what I mean? So
sucks.
you gotta like disappear. And
So
it's
it's like
like, dude,
one free
how is
kill.
that? Yeah, it's like, how is that covert at all? That's not sneaky at all. That's nowhere near stealth. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand. I mean, I guess in a sense it's real life, right? Because if somebody was getting jerked off their feet, they'd be like, oh, or some shit, you know what I mean? But like it's just annoying as hell that like they hear all of it and there's no way to do that, you know, more quietly, you know? So
That's really funny, man.
yeah, yeah, it's like every time they do it, I almost don't want to do it, you know, unless they're like
Yeah,
so
that's
far apart that
frustrating.
like I can, you know, get up out of there with my grappling hook, you know, the moment it's available,
The
you
game
know.
lets you reset all your points, right? I thought I was looking at does it?
Your ability,
Yeah, can you like spend it on something else? Because like you're like,
I
shoot,
don't
that was a
know.
waste of money.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know
that was
if
a
it.
waste
I
of
don't know
money.
if you can respec it, but you should. You should be allowed to respec it. But yeah. If I had known that it was so loud, I wouldn't have got it. Like it just because it was just no point. I'd rather just. Also, I hope it's one. I hope it's an ability for it. But the stealth takedowns sometimes are like entirely too long. Like I understand you're choking somebody out, but like they're really struggling for like a cool minute. And so you got a bunch of guys that are around walking around and it gives them plenty of time to turn around and go, "Oh, shit, my
Yeah,
boy's getting choked out by
yeah,
Robin.
it does
Let
take
me
a
go run
while.
over there and help." You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, it
like,
does take a
damn.
while. That I can
Like
agree with
I
for
kind of
sure.
want to like judo chop the shit out of one of somebody and then, you know, drop them. And what is funny is that he does have moves where he will drop down, whap somebody in the back of the neck, and then like, you know, slowly lay him down. Or he'll shoot his bow staff down and bash their head on the front end of it and then let them down or something like that gently. So those are really quick, but other times maybe it's like the positioning or something of the takedown, but you end up, you know, strangling people to sleep, and that should be taking way too long. I'd be like, damn, I'm trying to get in and out, man. Like this shit is not supposed to take that long. It's supposed to be
I know,
quicker,
I hear you. I
you
have the
know.
same
So
problem for sure.
yeah, but the game definitely does seem to get a little bit more easier to handle when you have somebody else with you. You know, at least like the number of guys. I just don't see it doesn't seem like as obnoxious anymore, you know, because they're trying to figure out who they're gonna attack. You know what I mean? So then they're torn as to what direction they're gonna come from. You know, because you sometimes you have dudes that are like four bodies away, charging up their super fist punch, and then coming in straight for you. So they're like speeding, dashing towards you while you're hitting other people. You know, so
Right.
sometimes you got multiples doing that and it's annoying, but when you have an extra in it, it kind of to like buffer that and gives you a little bit of breathing room. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get back on and play some more co-op and try to help him advance through his story, because he's like he hasn't played much from the Mr. Freeze, and I'm like, I'm past that. So I gotta get him to catch up.
So basically, where I'm at is I'm still really early, dude. I only played like a few hours of that game.
Uh-huh.
Is I'm going to see the Penguin right now.
The first time?
Yeah, the first time. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
so I'm extra early.
Yeah. You're super. You're pretty far behind me ish. It really just depends on like if you're doing all of the main objectives and side objectives, or if you're doing like crimes and like that too. Because if
Well,
you're doing crimes, then
when I was playing, one of my missions was I had to interrogate a mob and a freak, and so that forced me to like run around and find
run
like
and do a few. Yeah,
mobs and
there are a
freaks.
bunch of those in order to advance like the clues to get to the next branch of that person's quest or whatever. Yeah, you have
Right,
to do a couple of clues of crimes and things like that. Yeah, but you know,
right.
there's also the regular ones that are just low risk or 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 whatever, you know, that are out there that you can do. But I don't know if you do them or not. I try to clear the map out every night if I possibly can, but sometimes it's
Don't
just
they
like
just keep
take it
popping up
down.
though? The little pissant ones keep popping up indefinitely, right?
Well, so the white triangle ones that don't give you any information, those pop up and those keep on popping up. But if you do like the red triangles, sometimes they have like yellow triangles because they're like I think Penguin gives you like some yellow triangles on the map that if you do those crimes, you're working towards his goal. to be able to talk to him again or
Okay.
whatever. And and there's like red one that if you get like if you do those and complete those, you may get clues to get information on possibly other criminals or whatever. So if you do the red ones I guess would help to progress some of those side stories maybe. But they might just be there for XP only and resources. But I try to
So
do
you
those.
just
I
focus
just
on the
leave the
main
white
story,
ones
right?
alone. Huh?
You just focus on the main story, right?
No, I focus on the main story and anything with. So I leave the white
With color.
translucent
Okay.
objects, the triangles on the map. I just leave those alone. If
I
I'm
see.
passing one, I may stop and deal with it, but most of the time I'm headed towards the bright objects on the map. I just go to those only.
I see. Okay.
So yeah, so that makes sure that I do like the majority of the quest for like Harley Quinn or Freeze or whoever pops up. I can do those at least.
I
So
see.
and then I do try to look at the case files and see like what else may be required for those specific guys. Like those bosses or upgrades or something like that. I may do some of those. Like I spent quite a bit of time doing the fast travel quests so that I could be able to go to each part of the borough, that they have. Because there's so many freaking areas, dude. There's like 4 tiers, and then they're broken off into sections. You know what I mean? And
Right.
the damn missions and stuff be like way out there, and it's like, damn, I gotta drive or grapple my ass all the way up there. Like, so the moment I had fast travel, I was like, oh, thank you. I'm like unlocking all shits right now so I can freaking do these things a lot faster.
Dude,
Dude.
I will say, dude, like that grappling is so unrealistic. It's
Yeah, hell
like,
yeah, dude. That shit shoots fire as fuck, right?
dude, you are flinging yourself far, dude. Like, how
Yeah,
does that
man.
gun have that length? And it's like
Yeah,
you're
that
pulling it
shit's
like
got
this.
range. Like, I would love a grappling hook like that. That bitch shoots like 3 blocks away, man.
Where can I buy that at, man?
Yeah,
Dude, but
yeah.
it's like,
And
dude,
how
it's
is
kind
it
of like,
maintained in that small little gun, man?
I know that freaking length is all wound up in there. It's like, yeah, right, dude.
Yeah,
But like,
I'd be like trying. I'd be like, nah, man, there's no way I can hit that building. And then I see a little white, and I'm like, oh,
you just fling yourself. It's like this is like trying to be Spider-Man as
yeah,
best it can be without like completely destroying
for
like all
sure.
concept of reality,
Yeah, without
right?
it being like
It's like they're
completely
trying
like
really hard.
Spider-Man.
How
Yeah.
can we make this like Spider-Man? But
Mm-hmm.
dude, like it's funny that you mentioned like your little assassination, like how you can't do it from a rail.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, if you can grapple like that, if you're throwing physics out the water there, like why not throw physics out the
Why
window
not?
here? Like,
Yeah, just
yeah,
tie
like
that
why?
dude up onto the rail, or
Like where are
like
these parts?
I would legit not mind like shooting him, pulling his ass up to the railing with me, so I can beat him up and then throw him, onto the ground behind me, or something like that.
Yeah,
Like just make the
yeah,
ability useful everywhere. But I really want to like ditch it because you find more railings than you do perched spots, like peaks. Like you don't find that many areas with that. So it's like I'll be like, ooh, I'm like right above somebody, and I try to use it, and all it gives me is an ambush or a stealth. So I'm like, well, damn, where's this vantage shit at? But I came to an area where it was like, oh, I could use the vantage thing, but it was literally perches. I was like, man, and then you can't even do it from a certain height. Like you gotta, which is unfathomable considering you have like an 80-foot freaking grappling hook range, but you can't do those vantage kills
I,
from like too
I
high up.
know,
I should
dude.
be able to do that shit from the top of a 10-story building with the range that thing has.
I know, dude. You just like grapple up to a building so quickly.
Yeah.
But it does get tiresome though, like constantly having to press that button to grapple.
Yeah, it
Like
does.
it's a little bit frustrating.
It's more so frustrating that you gotta like aim to get
Yes.
the right
And do
grappling
you
spot.
notice like your character will just like all of a sudden grapple to like a location that
A
wasn't even
random
on the
shit that was
screen,
behind me
and
or
you're
up
like,
or
dude,
above me
how
that
did
I
I
didn't
even
even look at.
target that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I'd be like, damn, dude, I was not trying to go backwards. I was trying to go
yes,
forwards the way I was
yes,
looking,
yes,
but yeah,
exactly,
that's super
dude,
weird, dude.
exactly. Yeah, so yeah, I was feeling the same way. I will say this: the combat's super shallow. I was getting really frustrated doing the white markers. You were saying that you just ignore.
Yeah, yeah,
They're not fun. They're the most boring thing ever. You just beat up
yeah.
a few guys and then you get some material or whatever. And for the while it's there, dude, like I was like not figuring out like how to uh like determine which ones to interrogate. So I didn't know like
Oh,
what I was doing for like a while. And
bro,
it was
I've
just getting
maybe
really
interrogated
boring.
like 5 times the entire game, dude. I be forgetting the interrogation shit.
Well, I
I
had
don't
to
even
do it.
grab
I had to do it to move
for
on.
the mob
But
shit, right?
for the
Yeah.
mob, yeah.
That
But
was
the thing
literally
is,
probably like the only time that I interrogated was for the mob shit. Once I got past that, I don't think I'd interrogate anything else. Cause you get enough clues just by whipping ass, and finding like the little things in the area. So it's like you just
yeah,
beat them down
yeah,
and then
I
you
figured
search a
as
little
much.
bit.
But I
So
had to do it for that quest. But I will
yeah.
say, so I was getting pretty bored by the game. However, once Harley Quinn came into the scene and like I was in that prison,
Hmm.
like that was pretty fun. That was pretty fun. Like
Yeah, the prison was cool.
just expanding the story. Right? Like that's kind of like what was the funnest part about it. Like the combat was like whatever.
It's like,
But
yeah.
like, getting back to the next cutscene, right? With like Harley Quinn and like seeing what happened next. Like that was kind of like worth the time. Like I was kind of, that was almost like enough incentive for me to kind
Hmm.
of like, okay, let's
To
keep
progress the
fighting
to progress the story, right?
to progress the story. Yeah,
Right.
so I
Yeah.
was
I
like,
feel
that
like
I
that's
really like.
yeah, I feel like that's probably like the best thing it's got going for it is the story. And just seeing like the interactions with the villains and what villains will pop up and what's going to go from there. You know what I mean? Like those are the
Absolutely.
reasons why
Well,
you just keep doing those.
and they did a good job. Like the
Yeah.
villains are pretty well written. Like
I
it
mean,
doesn't
they've
feel
had
forced or
so
cheesy.
many fucking years of backstory. They're good. Like,
Yeah,
you
so like
better write it down good.
it's really solid from like that perspective. And because of that, that makes me kind of want to go back in there and play again. Like I'm looking forward to going and seeing the penguin right now. Like I haven't
Mm,
been there yet, but like I'm kind of looking
yeah.
forward to going and seeing the penguin. But like
Right.
if it didn't have that, dude, I think this game would be definitely a 5 or a 6. Like it wouldn't be like that great of a game. It'd be super, super shallow if it didn't have that great, villain
That story.
interaction, and
Yeah.
story that
Right.
makes me kind of want to keep playing. Right. So, like, I will say that that was pretty cool. Um, and the combat, like you mentioned before, very, very simple. Just one button and dodge is basically all
Yeah.
there is. Or you hold the
I mean,
button heavy,
it starts getting
very
more when
tiring.
you use momentum abilities, but it's like, and even then, the momentum abilities are kind of like, you
Well,
have
I
to
don't know about
do
you, man, but like the momentum abilities don't seem strong enough for the power that it
no
takes to
that
generate.
it
It takes
takes
a
all.
lot of
Yeah, you
work.
have to punch like at least 10 to
Yeah.
20 times before you get
Yes.
your momentum bar. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. It doesn't seem like worth it. I feel like
It
it should
doesn't.
be you should be accumulating more momentum. Like your momentum should be 4 strikes or something like
Or the
as many
momentum should be, I agree. Or the momentum should be stronger, a stronger ability,
putting them
right? Like it
out.
does more
Yeah,
damage.
like
Like
you
it
should be
feels
using
rewarding.
momentum and clocking them out. Like for instance, Robin's bow staff twirl momentum ability, where it just allows you to just uh like continuously twirl your baton and you walk forward and then you twirl it for like 5 seconds, but you're doing like a bunch of hits nonstop on an enemy if you can stay on them. But if you do that, man, I've done that on them big bitches that be out there, and dude, they take them shits and barely like a little bit of their health is gone. I'm like, dude, what am I hitting with? Like, come on, man. I'm hitting with like a Lex or a level 7 weapon, 44 extra power on there. Like why aren't these guys getting beat down for the area that I'm
Dude,
in?
the
I
big,
can't
the
I
big
can't
chicks,
get better weapons. So
they're
why aren't
tough,
they
dude.
dropping?
Yeah, the big chicks are way too strong, dude.
Yeah, those big bitches are annoying. But
They're really strong, dude.
you do get you can get an ability that would allow you to sneak or to stealth takedown the big ones.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so once you get that, like once you've unlocked your things, just save up 3 ability points. And then it's in your third tier on the second row on the right
Okay.
side. Just save up the 3 and get that because you're gonna need it. That way you could just take the big bitch out first and then move on to the guys. Because she's like the one that takes like the longest, man. It's like, damn, dude, I gotta put so much damn time working this bitch out. Like I'm getting my ass handed to me by the peons, or I stay focused on the peons, and here she comes wrecking me with her unblockable fucking attacks. It's just like, damn,
Well,
dude.
yeah, and they're like super long chains.
Yeah,
That's a lot of attacks in one go, man. Like,
it's a lot, dude. It's unnecessary. Like I don't like I would legit if Gotham City was real, I would legit have to say that that's the shittiest city in the world. Like there's too much crime. There's too many people that are willing to gather together and do crimes that this is a shithole.
why
Like
does
it needs to
anyone
be
live here?
nuked. It just needs to be nuked and everybody just goes in there.
Why
Because
does
it's too
anyone
much.
live here,
It's
dude?
too much.
Yeah.
It should be nobody but other criminals over there. It should be a city of criminals. People robbing other criminals. That's
I know.
it. Like
It's
there
just
should be
all
no
over the
innocent
streets.
bystanders.
It's everywhere. I know,
Yeah.
dude, right?
It's just,
Like everywhere.
it's
dude.
just not realistic, man. It's just like, golly, man.
You can't go 100 meters without a
Man.
mugging occurring.
Man, in the one area there is somebody getting pressed either by the GCPD or the freaking bad guys. Like it's like, come on, dude.
I know, even the police are corrupt.
The police are supposed to be good, but I gotta take these particular guys out, and that one I still don't even understand. Like why there's 2 GCPDs, but there's like the bad ones in the military outfits doing the extras, doing the most, and then there's the regular guys that I'm saving. Like it's like, what's going on here? Like, why is this shit so torn? You know what I mean? Like they either all get it or they don't get it. Like that's how it should be. It shouldn't be some of them I can whip their asses, but the other ones I gotta leave them alone and help them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man.
So yeah, so
I'm gonna keep playing it, but here's the problem: God of War comes out next week, and it's like I'm going on a trip to visit my brother-in-law.
Okay.
In South Carolina, my wife's brother, and I was gonna take my PlayStation with me.
Your wife's husband's brother? Oh wait, no, your wife's brother. Okay.
My wife's
brother.
Jeremy.
Yeah. You talking about Jeremy?
No, his name is Andy. So Jeremy is my brother-in-law, but she has another brother who lives in South Carolina.
Got you. Okay.
And
right.
we were gonna go visit him for Thanksgiving, but he's gonna be like working a lot, and my wife's gonna be like, playing kid stuff with the little kids, and so I was gonna bring my PlayStation. So I wanted to have something really good to play. So I was like telling myself, okay, I gotta save God of War
for that trip
because I feel like if I play it when it comes out, I'll burn it out and like almost beat it, and then I won't have it.
And it'll be done.
On the trip, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm gonna try to play Gotham Knights, I guess. But I don't know if that's gonna suffice, man. But I have been kind of enjoying it, just as far as like trying to get to the storylines, which I have been enjoying. So I'm hoping like that will be enough to keep me, satiated until like, God of War time.
Yeah, hopefully so, man. It's been a while since I I currently don't have my PlayStation hooked up to the HDMI port, so I'm gonna have to actually plug it up and
what do you have it plugged into?
Well, right now I just have my my Apple TV and my Xbox plugged up to my projector because it only has 2 ports. So I tried using a switcher, an HDMI switcher, but I guess it's not that great. It was like a little cheap one from Amazon I thought would work, but it's having issue having them both plugged up and switching, like it didn't want to switch. So I just ended up pulling it out and then just plugging it straight in. And since the only thing I was playing was my Xbox, that was the one that got plugged in. So I'm gonna have to probably unplug the Xbox or unplug the Apple TV, probably the Apple TV, and then plug the PlayStation back in and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure, dude, for sure.
But yeah, why don't you
bring awesome scores, man? We're gonna talk about it on this thing, but like that got me like extra hyped. What were you saying?
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say, why don't you just bring your Switch?
I wanted to bring that too, bro. Yeah, maybe I could do that because freaking Scarlet comes out right before I leave.
Yeah.
And I could play Pokemon Scarlet on the trip too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was thinking that as well, man, for sure.
So I don't know, because like, carrying the PlayStation 5 around, you know what I mean? And then potentially taking up one of the TVs in the house or something like that. It might be.
Well, I'm gonna be in the hotel room or whatever.
Oh, okay. Oh, you guys aren't staying with them.
Well, yeah, we're gonna get a hotel room.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's understandable then. That's something different. Yeah. I was thinking it might be a little intrusive if you're just like, oh, okay, this spot's mine. Like, got the couch, stop plugging your shit up.
I wouldn't take their televisions from them, but I have my own portable television that I'm bringing.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
you can let her come in. She's cool. But yeah, yeah, so I mean, it might a little bit better for you. Plus, you'd be able to play like on the road or something like that. If you gotta like get up and go somewhere, you could play it with you. But
the Switch is pretty
cool. Whichever one. But you'll be good though if you got the TV.
I got a little portable TV that I have, that I could use. So I won't take anyone's TV. Like I can even take it to their house, basically.
Yeah.
But when I'm hanging out with them, I'm not gonna be playing PlayStation. Like we're gonna play board games or whatever,
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I got this. Speaking of board games, I got this this new one that actually wasn't that bad. It was called Dragon Realm. I don't know if you heard of it. It's not like it's on top tier or anything like that. It's just a random one that we found for like $25 over at Barnes and Nobles, and it was pretty cool. So I had some fun playing my wife against her on that one. So that one was kind of cool.
Yeah, I told you about all the board games I played with Ishmael at the board game camp, right?
Yeah. Dude, I saw a Kickstarter board game because we while we were down there in Carlsbad for Legoland, we went to a couple of Goodwills just to see if they had anything, and and so I found Munchkins Deluxe finally for like $6. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna just grab this, so I can have the board and the little characters, when I play.
Just fell or something.
She started crying.
Yeah, she had a pretty big cry there.
Yeah. So I found
so when she cries, she's really hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, I know how that goes. So I found that, and then I was over at this dude, and they had this Kickstarter board game that was called something Dark Tower. I can't remember exactly what it was called. It was something Dark Tower, and Return to Dark Tower. That's what it was, and it was like a Kickstarter, and it was like that thing was like $199 on the Kickstarter, but for some weird reason, it was over there at that Goodwill, and they had it listed for $139, dude.
At the Goodwill?
I was like, come on, who is buying something for that much at Goodwill? Like,
yeah, who
it's
walked
not
the
furniture.
$139 to spend on one item.
That's funny, dude. Like it's not furniture. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I buy a board game that's used or whatever at a Goodwill for $139? That's the price. Just seems for many things that would be there, especially a board game. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna pass up on that one. I was like, let me Google it real quick just to see if it's like on Amazon or anything, to see if their price. They must have Googled it because they had it behind how like the all the bullshit be in the store, and then they had like a little glass case on the back wall behind the register or by the register, and it was locked. Like, so they had to unlock it, and in there they had a bunch of bullshit. And I was wondering, like, why is this even in here? It was like some shit shoes and some other things, but they had, like they had,
yeah, lock those up, huh?
yeah, lock them bullshits up. Yeah, get them shits off the floor. But they locked them, but they had that freaking board game in there. And then they also had Sheriff.
It's funny.
And I know we had played Sheriff once. And I was like, oh, well, I'll grab it if it's, you know, a good price. To tell me they wanted $35 for that. I'm like, that, like 35? Are you kidding me? It's like 30 at Target. Yeah, it's like 30 at Target. It's like 30 at Target. Why the hell would I pay 35?
So you've learned that Goodwill is not the place to go for board game hunting.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I mean, every now and again you might find some little gems. Like I did find I don't know if you've ever noticed it, but like over at Target, I've seen it a lot. Like the little laser maze game that they have. It's like probably like a $20 game or something like that. That you use like a laser and it has like mirrors and you try to complete the segment or whatever, the sequence or whatnot, and it's just like a kind of game. So I found that, and that was like $4. So I was like, yeah, I'll grab that. You know what I mean? Okay. You know, why not? That Munchkin for $6, I was like, hell yeah, I'll grab that, because I've been looking for one and I didn't want to pay like $20 for a game that I already had. You know what I mean? Yeah, just to get the board.
Yeah,
and
it's nice to have the board, man.
Yeah, and then they had like a couple of other games that were like more educational wise that I could play with my kids. But they were like a little bit more advanced of a grade, so I figured I just wouldn't grab it right now or whatever. But you know, so they had like a couple of little random ones, but definitely not like I wouldn't spend my day going to like mad Goodwills looking for board games in every one of them. You know, just every now and again you happen to spot stuff. I was looking to see if they had any hidden gems anywhere.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
I think maybe like I wonder if like yard sale hunting get you any good board games.
Oh, maybe. I guess it depends on where you're going at, but yeah, you might be able to find some. Get lucky with some every now and again, you know. So, but yeah, man. So, what else did you play this weekend or this week? I should say.
So after we got this freaking game here, this Vampire Survivor launched, and I was playing that, you know, last week on the pod. You were telling me that there was some more on iOS, and so I got my iPad out and I started hunting for some more on iOS. And yeah, I found that Survivor IO.
Okay.
I found another one that was similar to this. I can't remember the name of it, something like Dungeon or something like that. And I liked both of them. Survivor IO is crazy. Like that one gets mad crazy.
It's fun though, right? Like you end up playing it a lot.
You get like a lot of power-ups. So like you definitely survive. Like it's felt like a little bit easier than this one. But at the same time,
it's definitely like, you know, it's like chill. It's mobile, you know what I mean? So it's not made to like super challenging.
Yeah, it's like this one's like a little more exciting because like you can really die like pretty easily in this one I'm playing right here on screen. But in the Survivor IO, dude, you're just like, whoa, your eyes are just like popping. Because it's just like it's so much freaking like dudes on screen.
Yeah,
like
dude, they flood like that right there. That would be like the starter. the starter
like,
guys
I'm
that come
in
in
right now. Like this is pretty crazy what I'm looking at right now. You know, like
yeah, they're trying to kill you with this one.
Yeah, like they're trying to kill me. But in Survivor IO, dude, you got so much power. It doesn't matter like what they throw at you. Yeah. Like you are just like wrecking everything on screen, dude. You're just like a weapon of mass destruction, man. It's like so it's a lot of fun in like that regard. So I was really having a good time with it. But I just think like the Survivor IO is just the best version of it. Because like it just feels really good. You feel really strong. It's just hard enough. Like, I don't know. I really like this one, like quite a bit more. And so I
Oh, the
was
Vampire
looking for it on
Survivor.
console, but you cannot. I don't know why would this game not be on console. Literally,
It
just use
seems
the
straightforward
joystick.
enough. You just the joystick.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't even
you
need to
don't
click.
need
You just
anything
maneuver.
else, like
Yeah, that would be super easy.
I don't understand like why they couldn't port this. Like this should be like the easiest thing to port to console, dude. But
I
it's
think
just you can't find any game like this on console. Like not even like some like indie.
low key, I think that this is an indie though, right?
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like some like you, like people like you, like
Yeah.
a total like dude just trying to get a cheap game on the store, Like
Right.
you don't even find nothing like that because this is like seems like the easiest concept to duplicate. Like this seems just
Yeah.
like the easiest, funnest concept to duplicate, and you don't find any of them on console, like none.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That just is kind of baffling to me. Because it's really fun, but you cannot get this game on console at all. So I don't know like when it'll be ported. I think it should be at some point in time, but I don't know when it will be. And then I just played Gotham Knights, so I was playing like quite a bit of Survivor games.
Yeah.
I was playing like quite a bit of Survivor games, and then I was
Mm-hmm.
playing Gotham Knights, and I was enjoying, Gotham Knights. Like I was telling you, the
Yeah.
combat's very shallow, but what kept pushing me along was those story bits. Like you get those story bits, and you're just like, that was really cool. I can't wait to see, like the next villain. And then I heard the Penguin. I was like, oh, this is what Stone was talking about last week when he asked me, how many villains have you encountered yet? You were
Yeah.
like asking me, well, how many villains have you encountered? And I was like, oh snap, like I haven't encountered any. And now I'm
Oh,
seeing like villains
you're
are
seeing
like
them as you do the clues and stuff. You're seeing like, oh,
yeah,
a villain's
villains are like
popped
a
up on my
big part
radar
of
now.
like the
Yeah.
game, dude. Yeah, like they're like a big part, of the whole experience.
Right.
So yeah, I'm starting to see that now, and I'm starting to see like that's the real appeal here
Mm-hmm.
is that they just have like a lot of villains, like, and they're all really well done, really well acted, really well written, So that's kind of like where I'm at on it. I hope it delivers in the end. Hope the story, stays good and has a great ending. We'll see.
Yeah.
But really, just Survivor games and Gotham, man. That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been playing,
For
bro.
sure. Okay.
So
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Well, yeah, man, so not bad week. I think I'm gonna try to get some Naraka in at some point this weekend or whatnot. I've been kind of falling off a little bit on it since I've been having other games to try to play and whatnot, but I do try to get in like at least once a week, and play some. But yeah, man.
yeah,
So we have a few things to talk about. A couple of like, semi quick things or whatever. We got the reviews for God of War. We got like it says here, a leaked date for the Last of Us TV series. Also have a comment from Phil Spencer that was pretty funny, and something else, right? Am I missing one more thing?
someone who loses 2 million.
Yeah, Sony losing 2 million. Yep. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into the topics, man. This is the We Love Gaming, man. So let's talk about it. The last TV series on HBO has a leak date for the premiere. So it seems like it's going to arrive on or around January 15th. So top of the year, which is actually pretty good. I was wondering exactly like how long they would take with it. I'm assuming that they're probably done shooting and that it's literally just all like CGI and whatever else that they're doing with like the graphics and stuff like that for this to make it look as good as possible right now, and cutting and final touches and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm excited to see it and see exactly how they portray these characters, if they have that same feeling as the game, or if it doesn't hit as well, kind of like I don't know about you. Have you been watching House of Dragons?
Nah, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay. See, yeah, for some reason, man, House of Dragons don't hit like Game of Thrones, bro. Like it to
Yeah,
me, like it just does the same
that's what I was hearing.
enthusiasm to want to watch it as Game of Thrones did, and so
Yeah,
I
I
just
was
hope
super
that
hooked on Game of Thrones.
yeah, I know, right? You like every week when the episode is coming out, like you on it and you looking forward to the next
Yep,
announcement for when the new season, all that
yep,
shit. Yeah. Yeah. So I just I hope that that same feeling that we as gamers had when we played The Last of Us for the first time, that we get some type of that similar feeling when we watch the show.
yeah. My
But
guess is that we won't, but maybe someone who hasn't played the game will. So, I mean, I honestly don't know.
yeah, hopefully the story that they're going with is intriguing enough to just get people to want to watch it, not knowing
Yeah, I
anything
would
about it.
think that
Like I'll have to sell it to my wife, and see if she's interested in watching it, and then she'll be the take on it, like because she doesn't know shit about Last of Us, so you know how she feels about the show will probably be similar to people who just don't play games and just watch the show.
right, right.
So
Yeah, so that's kind of like my guess on it.
yeah,
We'll see though, but I hope it's good, for sure. I
yeah.
mean, I want it to be good, but I'm not as excited about it, as like I'm not as excited about it as I was for Game of Thrones for sure. And I think that's mainly because I played the game. What's funny is, had I not played the game Last of Us, this is what I was thinking about, was like, would I even care about this? Think about it. Had you not played the game, The Last of Us, like, does
You
this
wouldn't even know what
feel,
it's about. Yeah.
yeah, like think about like the average Joe Schmo, like um uh would they care about this? Are they thinking, oh, just another, Walking Dead, is it going to be any good? Some people might try it just because, but I think like the vast majority of people who are interested are people who've played the game, and that's fine. That's funny because I am not as excited about it because I played the game. But had I not played the game, I wouldn't be interested in it really like at all. That's what's like.
Yeah, well, I think that the Mandalorian playing in it might gain quite a bit of interest. You know what I mean? Because he's coming from that. And so that might draw some people, and that's probably why they
The actor,
position the actors, in the spots that they got him in. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, at least if you're looking for this actor or you follow this actor, you might partake in this show
right?
or whatnot. So that might be the case, but yeah, I probably wouldn't have even heard of it because I don't follow too many HBO shows. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't keep track of any of them. So if this one was to have been off my gaming radar because it was like some other show, I wouldn't have had any kind of notion about
Yeah,
it. Nor
yeah. I
care.
think what's funny though is I like I like the HBO shows the best. Like, is there any company you like to follow shows for?
Uh,
Because you said you don't follow HBO shows. Like, do you follow any company shows? Like, any particular companies like shows? I think
not
HBO makes the best shows.
not really. HBO does make the best shows, but I have the issue where because I'm working so much, I don't really my free time isn't with TV. It's to play video games. So like, I'd rather play something than watch something, or I might be trying to watch like an anime or something like that. So I don't really watch like too many regular shows and stuff like that. That's why I haven't caught up on House of Dragon anything, because I started it, but it ends up falling to the wayside, and I just don't keep up with it. So
Right. Yeah, I wasn't
basically,
too happy with The Wheel of Time. Did you watch The Wheel of Time?
no. What is that, anyways?
Oh, it's a show on Amazon Prime. Um,
Oh, okay.
but it's based off a book series that I really liked, kind of like how
Hmm.
Game of Thrones was.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like anything as far as like what I read in the book, and so I was like
Hmm.
really disappointed in it. But so like that kind of turned me off a little bit on some of these like shows that they keep making.
Yeah.
Because they're not really like honoring the book too well. So I was kind
Mhm.
of hoping that the dragon one, it's based off a book, isn't it? Like they didn't just make that up, right? Like it's
No,
based.
no, no. The House of Dragons is based off a book. Yeah.
Okay, so that helps. But I haven't watched it yet. But yeah, I agree, man. Like I wasn't excited for it like I was for Game of Thrones. It's weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Sometimes this is what happens, man. Like it's just kind of like the nature of things. When you make something that's like really good, then you constantly have to one up it, or the audience will
Yeah. You
leave.
gotta chase
Like,
that, right?
you got to chase that because people are like, dude, this is not as good, so I don't care to watch it now. Isn't that a trip?
Yeah.
And so like it's just like it's like I don't know, like shows have not been doing that great recently. Like
Mm-hmm.
ever since the end of Game of Thrones, it seems like shows have not been doing that great.
Yep.
And I think that's because Game of Thrones was so good, that it's made it really hard to make another show that's comparable for people, and they're all just disappointing. And now like people are like very skeptical of watching any show.
Yeah, or they do like shows like Watchmen, and then they only do one season and it's over, and it's just like, dude, what the hell, you know? But or like Lovecraft Country, and it's just like, well, damn, when's the next season, or what's taking so long, or whatever.
Right.
Certain shows, it just takes forever for them to come around, or they're done, and there's some type of a sequel in place, but it just ain't as good as the previous. So
Right.
just how it goes.
So,
but yeah, man.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we got a couple of months away. So the end of the year is coming fast. So I mean, to have it at the top of the year, that'll be cool. See what they're working with.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, man.
God of War launched.
God of War, yeah, dude. So
at least.
So yeah, all of the reviews just started pouring out, out the water, out the woodworks, pretty good on what was it, Thursday? They started coming out?
Yesterday,
or Wednesday.
Yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah. So that embargo dropped.
Or Wednesday night. But like Thursday is when they really dumped.
Right. And so I was seeing lots of tweets and posts and different things like that, man. And it seems like this is like the new hotness, man. Like this thing is shitting all over all these games, dude. 10 out of 10s all across the board, damn near. If it ain't a 10, it's a 9.5 or something.
Dude, one thing I wanted to ask you about this. We've waited a long time, dude, for this game. Mm-hmm. And not only that, I feel like we waited a long time for like a first party studio game from like Sony or Microsoft. So I feel like Sony's giving us one now.
Well, not really, because they had Horizon Forbidden West. So they had
but that was the last one. That was back in February.
Well, that came out in February?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay. It has been a long ass time. It's been a hell of a drought, man.
Waiting for like a game to come out,
Well, we did get what was it? Halo, right?
That was in December last year, dude. That was last year.
Oh shit, man. I'm picking old ass games, dude.
Yeah, so it's like I'm like thinking to myself, it's like, okay, this is a really great game, and like, of course, we're all mad excited to play it. But man, dude, what do you want, man? Do you want like give me like 4 85s than like 2 90s? I want more games a year, man, than this.
Yeah.
Like this is gonna be a great game, but we had to wait all year. Does that make me forgive Sony or even Microsoft for not giving us a game all this time? It's like they give us all these, they take all our time. They finally give us the game. It's great. So now I forgive them for not releasing any games in the past. I don't know how I feel about that, man. Like, what do you think on that?
Nah, man, it's kind of a bust, dude. Like, I mean, obviously you don't. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, you're buying a game system in general to play games. Now, sometimes dependent upon which company would provide, like, I guess the best option for games, you would go that route, right? If you're looking for like a large amount of games, maybe you go like the Xbox route, or whatever, just because a lot of that shit's free. I don't know. They're probably they're close to the same if you're not paying like subscriptions or anything, except for like the first party games. And then it's like, okay, Xbox literally gave us like nothing this year. So we've gone the entire year, didn't get crap. And, it just is what it is. And yeah, we've gotten like day ones, but they ain't been, from the big heavy hitters. And then
Right.
you got PlayStation, who does manage to drop a couple, but it's literally like you can count them on one hand. So it's super spread out. So it definitely, and then on top of that, you got all of these games which come out on the previous consoles. So it makes, new consoles like irrelevant.
Yeah,
So
I think Nintendo, to be honest, I have to say, I think Nintendo does the best job as far as
at
like
coming
first
out with
party
first parties,
studios go. Even
yeah,
though like Microsoft and Sony, they have all these studios, they never release games, bro.
it's
Like,
a which is so crazy, right? Like, but then again, though, right? You got to think we're talking about like good enough quality on the system that Nintendo has. They're not producing shit that's on the level of like Sony and Xbox for their consoles, because everything that gets ported is shit dumbed down.
yes,
So
that's the
it's
thing.
so
It's
I
like
think maybe
there's
it's
no it's I don't want to use the word perfect, but there isn't even like an ideal like game company. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
okay, with with Microsoft, you get like you said, volume. You get like lots of games,
yeah,
but not very many of them are great. With Sony, you don't get that many, but they're incredible when you get them, right?
mm-hmm.
With but you get all the third party games too, right? So it's kind of like, okay, that's cool, but I want more first party games because those are the ones that are great, you know? So you go to
Yeah.
Nintendo and you're like, okay, cool, I'm getting more of the first
I
party
got
games that are
tons of
great, which
first
I'm
party
happy
games.
about that.
You're right.
But then I lose out on all the third party games, right? So it's like there's no like happy medium where there's just like a company that's doing a good job on kind of like all fronts, and that's kind of like what's bizarre to me.
Yeah,
Sony
for
kind of
sure.
felt like it was that, but the last couple of years, dude, there
They've
hasn't been a
diminished.
lot to write home about with Sony.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just like that I don't know if like certain titles just aren't getting done. I mean, you also got to think about it, right? Like a couple of years ago, we were like smack dab in the middle of like some of the greatest trilogies.
Yeah,
So, you know, when those trilogies are that's it, you know what I mean? There's nothing else being done after that. Now they've got to come out with new IPs, and the new IPs just aren't that interesting. So then they
that
start
could
digging in
be
the
it.
crates, bringing back dead IPs and trying to revive them, and it's just like, why? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's the most
so
frustrating.
that's the problem, right? You've got these dead IPs getting revived like crazy, or just like the really old titles just getting brought back to life for forsaken reason, and then the new titles are just taking so fucking long because they're trying to make sure they don't cyber 20 shit. So now we're stuck. You know what I mean? Because it's not like, oh, you could just, they don't want to just create another Uncharted, right? That just takes.
Right.
I guess it's not just in
I
their
don't want
books. They
that.
don't want to continue with the
I would be
story or
upset,
something.
dude.
So
It's like we want something new, right? Like,
I don't know. I would love for like another adventure from Drake. You know what I mean? And maybe he brings his daughter along or some shit. I don't know. Like I wouldn't mind that as long as it's a
I
new
wouldn't
game. Don't
scoff
just
at it,
revive the old
but
shit.
I would
But
rather have like a RPG, like give us like a. Why hasn't Naughty Dog given us like a Skyrim type game yet? I don't know. I feel like they could,
yeah.
So, but yeah, so that's kind of like how I feel about this. I'm like, okay, I'm really excited.
Yeah,
I'm not going to ever deny that. I'm not going to ever say that I'm not. I'm super excited to play this God of War game. I know it's going to be a lot of fun, but do we just let it now? Do we just forget? Because they give us a great game, do we just forget, that they haven't had a game, launch in almost a year? And we just, because now we have a good one. We all forget that, they were doing terrible this year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to, I want the promise that we were given from Phil Spencer, and I think even PlayStation, one first party a quarter. Like, why can't we get one first party a quarter? I'd be so happy with that. Like, that's one thing that I really like about like Hearthstone. Like, they are consistent. We get a new expansion every single quarter. Every quarter we get a new expansion pack.
Yeah,
so
they're always putting in
fresh.
some good time. So I mean that's always good, especially for that, and why wouldn't you, right? You're getting a consistent revenue from that. So I think that's probably the motivation to put something new out.
Right? Well, I would think the same with Sony. You know how many copies are going to sell a God of War? Like, wouldn't that be motivation to put more games like this out? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would definitely be trying to figure out how I could get, something to the degree of like Grounded or something like that onto a Sony console. Something that, is just there and it becomes like, a little cult favorite or whatnot, and they just keep improving on it. It's a live service and they just keep adding things to it. It would at least give you something extra on there, But
yeah, I hear you. I agree.
But yeah, man, these freaking Metacritic scores are out of this world. So I'm just hoping that it's not just because everybody's fanboying out for freaking God of War, and that it is just a great game.
Me too.
You know what I mean? But I guess we'll see for ourselves in about a week.
I was not expecting like a sequel to be the same as the original. You know what I'm saying? Like, usually the sequel's like a little bit lower. Like, I think The Last of Us 2 had a little bit lower Metacritic score than The Last of Us 1 did. Even though I think The Last of Us 2 is like incredible. Just really, how I feel about that game. But this I wasn't expecting, because it looked like we talked about this. Like, it
looked like a continuation. Like they took the DLC and just expounded more on the DLC.
It felt like a DLC pack. It didn't feel like a whole new game. But that it's getting the same reviews and maybe even slightly better in some cases. Like, wow. Like, that is absolutely shocking, dude. So,
I mean, I guess it's sort of shocking, but it's really not that. The first game came out and it got great ratings, right? And they literally just took everything from the first game and just pushed the story further. Like, how can you really go wrong, right? Like, it's the same shit you loved from the first one, and it's just more story. We just gave you more. That's it. You know what I mean? So it's like it should be a win. But, hey.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, my first thought is like, if you copy identically, like, people are kind of a little bit disappointed with it.
You would be tired of it, but I kind of felt like I wanted more when I ended God of War.
Yeah,
like, damn, I wanted the story to continue.
I can hear that. Yeah, I can agree with that.
So it's almost like giving. Yeah, it's almost like giving us exactly what, many of us might have wanted from playing and finishing the first one.
Yeah, I think I'd be just as happy with Elden Ring DLC and give it a right? Like, I think I probably would. Like, you're probably
right. Dude. Elden Ring DLC, bro. Everything is the same. All it is just a little bit more story. You know what I mean? A couple more villains, or enemies to fight in a new area.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, imagine like they launch the sequel and it just feels like Elden Ring DLC, but it's just like another 80 hours of gameplay. I don't care. Like, if it feels like
I would still be good.
I was still be more of that. Like, I can understand like what you're saying.
Yeah.
I guess it's just kind of been so long since we played God of War that I'm forgetting how awesome it was, because I remember thinking that game was really incredible, and I still, of course, have Elden Ring on the mind. Like, I still am like, I think like Elden Ring is still the greatest game probably ever made, in my honest opinion. And I thought Last of Us was, but I feel like Elden Ring now is my new favorite game of all time, and I would just want more of that. And so, yeah, that gets me even a little more excited for God of War, actually.
Yeah,
because I remember that game being really, really cool.
mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I'm definitely like, dude, if they were to tell me that they had like a director's cut of Elden Ring, like I'm there. Yeah, where I gotta buy. Yeah, here's my card. Let me swipe. You know,
yeah,
80 more hours of gameplay. Hells yeah, I'm in there, and I'll do the old shit again to get to the 80 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's no
I'll play
questions
it all over
asked
again, just for the director's cut.
Just for the director's cut, just to hear a couple more phrases that were taken out, be added in.
Just to hear a couple more phrases.
Okay,
just to hear a couple more phrases, huh?
Yeah, just to hear a couple more words, man. Hey, take the dogs outside.
That's too funny, man.
Yeah, boot them. They can get some air. Yeah, all right. So let's go to the next topic then. What we got here? Sony loses 2 million PlayStation Plus subscribers since their incredibly fantastic change where they added tiers of awesomeness. So if you've been stuck under a rock,
or so they want you to believe.
Yeah, so if you've been stuck under a rock and you didn't know, the PlayStation Plus is no longer just PlayStation Plus, right? It used to be $50. You get like 3 games every month to add to your library. Boom, all good. They decided to split that up, and now the PlayStation Plus Basics or Essentials, I believe, which is the bare necessities, and then you have the Extra, which is like access to a couple more games, which I think Extra is what you need, right, in order to be able to get like the PS5 games that they're releasing now available, right?
No, the Extra just gives you an extra library of like games to play, and
it gives you the extra, like the PS5 games that they give for free, don't they? Because I couldn't get Stray if I didn't have Extra.
Do you mean? Oh no, that is yes, that is the ones they give for free. Yes,
right. Yeah,
library. So, it's not part of the monthly PS5 game you get for free.
No. Yeah, so they give you they'll still give you your 3 or whatever in the Essentials tier, but in the Extra tier they actually will give you like 1 extra game that's like one of those PS5 games that we saw a long time ago, such as like Bug Snacks. It would be under that wall, or it was one of them that would be under that wall. I don't know if it's still offered, or if it's just like a time thing, like, you know, each month it's on there, and then once it's off, you'd have to buy it again or whatever, because I don't know, because I don't have Extra. And then you have the premium, which for some godforsaken reason, just you pay more to access the old shit. So if you wanted to play PS1 games,
it's backwards compatible,
pay an extra $30 more and you got access to them bitches. So yeah, they're, you know, we've said it a 1,000 times on this pod, on you know, chatting, that shit's ass backwards. Like, it doesn't make any sense that I would pay more to get access to the old shit. That should just be something to give, and it shouldn't even really be a tier. It should just be one, you know, just increase the price to one little bit, you know, an extra 10 15 bucks or whatever for the year, and then just make it one thing and get all of that or whatever. But they decided to cut it down. And essentially this article is just discussing how right after that happened and they incorporated those tiers, people let their PlayStation Plus subscriptions run out and didn't renew them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, why? You know, so the people who were doing the PlayStation Plus on a year didn't re-up for the Essentials. And it's not like everybody did this. Like it says about like 2 million, I think, like, or something like that, million players or whatever. you know, that just didn't re-up. And there was some interesting reasons as to why they gave. I believe that I saw in there that that they had expected, in a sense, for the stuff to drop, and they kind of based it upon like the sales. They kind of like gave you like, okay, the increase in the sales of the PS5s gave an increase to PS5 PlayStation Plus like subscribers getting like the tiers or whatever. And because of that, PlayStation 4 users were reduced. So it's like you're losing 2 million, but you might gain like a million or something like that,
Well, it was the
or
weirdest
less.
explanation because it's like, yeah, you're gonna sell more PS5s and maybe, but you still lost 2 million subscribers. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
doesn't
it's like,
change.
and really, it was just the motherfucker on the PS4 that moved to the PS5. That's why your numbers are down for the PS4 because they're on PS5s now.
Right,
But
exactly. But you still lost 2 million subs, you know? So I don't know. I just thought that was like the
yeah,
weirdest explanation. It's like, no, I mean, these companies, they won't admit anything's wrong, you know, like until like they absolutely have to. So
yeah, yeah.
like
Until
they'll
they got to
never
come
admit
out and
things
say,
wrong.
"Oh yeah, we fucked
But
up" or whatever.
this is like a major F up. You
Yeah,
launch your brand new shiny, you know, your shiny new service,
and you
and you
lose
lose
people.
subs.
Yeah. Like, oh, I don't know how many people are gonna leave Netflix, but I feel like this extra tax, for doing the homie share is gonna end up biting them in the ass in the long run.
Right,
Paying like an
right.
extra $8 for each like IP address that's like logging in is crazy. Nobody's gonna do that shit, bro. Like they're gonna just, okay, well, fuck Netflix.
Yeah,
I'll
I
catch
mean, it
that
may be
bitch
the
on
time
something
to get
else.
rid of Netflix because also, have you been noticing, man? Like I've been kind of having a hard time finding something worth watching on Netflix. Like I
Um,
browsed it quite a bit, but it's like this is kind of getting stale, you know?
yeah, I
Like
don't really use Netflix that often. A lot of times I'll end up using Netflix to catch up on a show that's on the live service or something. Like I've used it to catch up on The Flash because the CW only holds like a certain amount of episodes on their website, and then like you just can't grab them anymore, so you got to wait until they get to Netflix to be able to watch them. But that's lit. Like I don't watch anything else really on Netflix.
yeah, I feel like I've become more of an HBO Max guy, dude. I don't know about you, but that's become more of my jam because they have like a lot better movies. They have better shows. I think the only thing like Netflix has kind of is like documentaries, right? Like they're kind of like the documentary king right now. But I
Yeah, I guess
mean,
so. Hulu be having mad
but
documentaries
Hulu
too,
is
though.
starting to do the documentaries too. So I
Yeah,
just feel like Netflix is losing their place in the world, dude. Like I've been kind of losing interest, and I used to watch Netflix like crazy. That was like my jam.
yeah,
Like I
yeah. And
love.
I mean, they try. You know what I mean? Like they try to get like some of these actors and whatnot, you know, that are well loved or whatnot, and trying to give them shows, and then trying to do like
Movies.
comedy shows with for some of these comedians and things like that. But yeah, man, like honestly, it's been a while, you know. Like I might get on Netflix if my login to Disney didn't work at the time when I was looking for something. So I'll just get on that
Dang, you a
or
Disney
whatever,
guy,
you
huh?
know. Yeah, you know, I'll watch a lot of stuff on Disney Plus when it comes time for like the Mandalorian. I didn't check out Andor
Oh
or
yeah, I was gonna ask you if you like that
one
one.
of the other ones. Yeah, I hadn't watched it yet. I just didn't get around to it. But like I said, like Funimation, you know, Crunchyroll, I'm on that. You know what I mean? So I haven't been watching too much like regular TV and stuff. So I've been behind on a lot of things. Like
Yeah, bro, I hear you.
I still got to catch up on freaking you know, The Flash. Like I'm still like hella episodes off. So
I
you know,
haven't
that's
even seen The
just what it is.
Flash, so
You said what?
I haven't even seen that show
Oh, like ever?
ever. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's had a long ride, but it's on its last season um this year. So whenever they finish that, that'll be kaputs. But they did have like a couple of cool episodes, like trying to marvel it up, and
Right.
they did like a flashpoint, and they actually incorporated that nutcase Ezra Miller, um, and threw him in the mix or whatnot to kind of say like, oh, this is just like a different, an alternate Earth that the current Flash that's on TV is
Right. I've
in and
been
whatnot.
those, yeah, the multiverse thing.
Yeah, but yeah, man. So yeah, it was definitely interesting to hear about the 2 million place.
Yeah.
I don't think that, like from what I could get from their responses and in that article, they were really, they it's like, oh, we're gonna get losses. You know what I mean? It's like when you lose in a basketball game and you're just like, well, we had to lose at some point, right, guys? You know what I mean? Like it seemed
Right.
like they were gonna go to the drawing board and like rethink some things or whatnot, or try to like see if they could
Right.
readjust some things
Adjust
to
it.
get people back. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, yeah, they're just gonna keep pushing forward. So I guess we'll see if those numbers happen to dwindle or whatnot. I do kind of find myself wondering if I will uh renew my subscription. I mean, because like the games that they've been giving out for Game Pass, I mean for PlayStation Plus, haven't really been anything that I was like super interested in playing. I do know that you need PlayStation Plus to be able to play on the internet, but if they ain't coming out with games, there's almost like no rush for me to go and you renew it. You know what I mean? I'll just wait until there's a game that I want to play online with others, and then I'll renew it then.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or if I see that there's like a game that comes up for uh for free for the PlayStation Plus subscribe, I might go ahead and renew it. But yeah, as of right now, like, that bitch is definitely not set to renew on my shit.
Yeah,
So
see, that's how I felt too, bro. Like when they launched that new system,
yeah.
because the main reason why was because I think you're not allowed to use. Are you able to? I heard you couldn't use those little PS Plus passes to like
Uh
renew anymore, right?
no, so you can use them. Basically what they were saying is essentially like the value of them were going to go down. So it wouldn't be like a one for one swap, like how you could do the Xbox Live and then get Game Pass, like swap it over for Game Pass and get like the year or a month or whatever, 3 months of the Game Pass subscription for the same price. Like it was just a swap for a swap.
Right,
They're making it so like you'll still owe a little bit. Like if you were to go, I think it still might be good for the essentials. Don't quote me on that, but I know like for the extra or whatever, you would have to pay the difference. So there would be like the base amount, and then whether it was 15 or $20 more that you had to pay, that's what you'd have to pay after that. So, and then if you had like, let's say you had like a year of PlayStation Plus and you used it, but you decided you wanted to sign up for like the premium, you'll get like 3 months of it.
I see.
So you know what I mean? It's like
Weird,
it'll like diminish it or whatever. So
weird. Yeah, that was one of the biggest turnoffs for me because
yeah,
that's what I always would do. Like every Black Friday, right? Like go buy a couple of those things.
like $40 or something, and then let
Yeah,
it
you
stretch.
get the whole year. You get a deal on it for like 40. And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'll do this, you know. But if I can't do that anymore,
Yeah,
then I'll just do like you said. When I find something interesting, I'll re up to try it, and then I'll just let it shut off, right? Or I'll, like when a
yeah,
friend comes on, then I'll try it. But like, yeah, it was like a total turn off, you know, total turn off. That
yeah. I'll start getting like my boy Brahms, and it'll be like, oh, when I find a reason, I'll I'll go ahead and do it.
that's right, yeah. So that's what I think could be happening, man. People are like, nah, I'm kind of done now. I can't like find a way to like get it at a reasonable price, then I'm done, you know?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, man. So moving on to the last topic. Um, so this one I thought was funny. I saw this one I think yesterday amongst all of the God of War Ragnarok reviews or whatever flooding the scenes. But yeah, man, Phil Spencer had admitted that they've kind of shit the bed because they haven't dropped any first party games. Like first party exclusives on their console. And it's just kind of like, damn, no shit, Sherlock. Like, you don't think you could have pressed Bethesda at all to get them to release one of their fucking games out this year? Like, totally. What are you doing, man? Like, why is it that we're saving all of our for next year? I don't understand. But
yeah, I think like, you know how I was just saying, like it takes like an absolute travesty for these companies to admit they've done something wrong. I think like Phil admitting really tells you how bad it is.
Yeah, yeah. It's like he's had to come to the realization. You know what I mean? Like that delusional player, you know, in basketball that just thinks he's like the shit, but he's really ass at it. And then it's just like, damn, he has to get shut down by somebody who's like way better than him for him to realize, damn, yeah, dude, I totally suck, man. I'm about to play football or something.
Yeah. I guess I'm really not that good. Yeah, I think like, and that's what's so crazy about like him admitting it. It's like, dang, dude, you have to really be in a bad shape to like finally come out and say like, but like we've been saying this the whole time. Like it's Sony has their problems, which you know is not a lot of games to play, or Microsoft gives you a lot of games to play. But then Microsoft's problems is they don't give you great games to play.
Yeah, right? that higher tier.
Because there's no first party studios launching. Like you said, you couldn't get Bethesda. We have to remember this, man. Like we cannot forget. They bought Bethesda. That was in 2020 or in 2019. Like going on like almost 3 years now. We're almost in 2023 here. And they haven't got one, not even one first party exclusive title. I mean, it's shocking, dude. Like it's absolutely, they finally have Deathloop, right? Like they finally have Deathloop. You can finally play that, but they haven't got one product from them since they purchased.
It was in 2020. That was when they officially announced it. But yeah, in 2020 is when we heard rumors that they were in the process of purchasing it. And then, you know, and it took like several months before they finished the acquisition and actually purchased them. But in 2021, they purchased them. And from then on, they still have not produced shit for the freaking console.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's nuts, dude.
That's so nuts, man. I mean, I can't even believe that. I can't even believe that.
It's like, wow, you spent so much money. Why wouldn't you be doing everything possible or forcing them to do everything, pushing them to do everything possible so that you can immediately recoup?
Totally, bro. Totally.
They spend money.
Dude, they're still spending money. It's Microsoft.
7.5 billion.
It's Microsoft paying those paychecks, man, to all those developers, all those art designers, dude. Microsoft, you know, assumed that role. You know, like when are they going to get paid back?
Yeah, man, dude, they haven't seen anything. I mean, I hope they have a phantasmal fiscal year next year because they need some games, dude. They need to drop a bunch of shit.
And all they're launching is one game, right?
No, I think
like what, Wolfenstein? Like what else is coming out?
Redfall should be coming out next year.
That's right.
Starfield should be coming out next year.
Man. We know Starfield, but yeah, it was Redfall that you got.
Yeah. There was a couple of, you know, I don't know about like the other ones like Obsidian and shit like that. Like I don't know what their time frame is,
right? They're working on Avowed.
Yeah, they're working on Avowed, but I don't know what their time frame is. Like we haven't heard shit about Avowed, so it's like just as bad, you know. So I don't know, man. I'm hoping that you know, we thought 2022 was gonna be the craziest fucking year of our lives.
It
was the shittiest. It was like one of the shittiest years.
Everything got delayed again, a whole nother year. But we could still say that 2022 was the most legendary year of gaming because we got Elden Ring.
For sure.
So I mean, Elden Ring saved the year, no doubt. You know?
Yeah, man. If that don't win game of the year, I don't know what should. Like,
I agree. What could
it's
possibly
gotta.
go?
Like,
I
I
mean,
don't
of
know what
course,
could have
it's gonna
possibly
be
be.
the only competitor's God of War Ragnarok,
I
right?
don't, but I don't think God of War could win in that bracket just because it's a console exclusive, right? It hasn't touched enough hearts. Like, it's got to touch as many hearts as
I don't know.
possible.
I mean, I hear what
We
you're
got
saying.
PC
But I
hearts,
don't
we
know if
got
that's how they
Xbox
choose the
hearts,
winner or not.
and we got PlayStation hearts, man. Like, you're gonna have people voting on this shit who don't have a PlayStation or whatever, and so they're gonna be like, God of War, I haven't played that shit. Are you talking about the old one, the 2020 God of War that's on PC now? You know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna know that stuff. Like, so I think it's got to literally be like on all platforms.
So no exclusive can win Game of
Deathloop
the
and
Year, then,
shit,
bro?
huh?
No exclusive can win Game of the Year?
I'm not saying no exclusive can win Game of the Year because I think Last of Us won Game of the Year several times,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's just like I don't know how it could beat it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's touched every console possible. The bitch might be coming to Switch eventually. I don't know, but
I
it
just don't think
touched
that's how
everything.
they. I don't think that's how they determine Game of the Year. Like, even though I hear your point, clearly
Yeah,
Elden Ring is going to be beloved by more people than God of War because more people have played it. But I
yeah.
think they just think like, what was the best game made, regardless on if it was only exclusive or not.
Well, if numbers don't lie, right, then we could assume that God of War would be the best game out this year because it's got better scores than Elden Ring.
It doesn't.
Apparently,
It doesn't.
it doesn't. I
No,
thought
it's not fair to
Elden
play.
Ring had like 94, and that shit had like 100.
Elden Ring has 96. God of
96.
War has 94.
Oh, okay.
So Elden
So are
Ring
we looking
still
at
has a better score.
Metacritic?
Yeah, on Metacritic,
Okay.
because that that aggregates all the reviews. So I mean, if you want to get like a view of like how the world is looking at these games, then Metacritic's like the best route to go.
Okay.
But
Well, then, yeah, that still stands. Then
so it
that
still
Elden Ring
stands,
should
even
win.
if God of War was like a better reviewed game, but it touched fewer hearts.
Yeah.
It still loses because Elden Ring still has a better score than it. Like Elden Ring still beats it, even on the overall score too. So like that's why I think Elden Ring, there was no way that game was losing. I can't imagine any game scoring higher than that. I would have been shocked if God of War somehow scored higher than Elden Ring. That would have been like absolutely shocking to me.
That would be surprising, but
And I'd be like, okay, I don't care. I have to play this game like right now, day one. I got to see what's up with this. I couldn't believe it. I wouldn't be able to believe it. There's no way.
Man, dude.
So, anyways, that's kind of like where we're at now. We're waiting now for Xbox to launch their first, party exclusive.
Next year, 2023.
Next year, someday.
Probably like March. Like, they might be trying to do like a 3-year anniversary or something, or a 2-year anniversary from the day that they officially purchased Bethesda. So this article was put on Xbox.com on March 9th, 2021, saying that they had officially acquired Bethesda and welcoming it to the team. So March 9th, 2023 is when they're going to release Starfield. They're going to do a 2-year anniversary, bro.
2-year anniversary, you acquired a company and it took 2 years to get your first cent of profit.
Yeah, that's my hot take, man. Write it down. Godly Sovereign said that will March 9th, 2023. And if it launches, I want my money.
You want your money?
You guys better be donating.
Paying you money.
You guys better be donating. Donate to my Cash App. Like, damn, man, he was right. Hit that shit on the head. But yeah, man. So that's gonna be interesting to see what type of year Xbox has next year, and then what type of year Sony is gonna even have next year, just to see if they can do better. You know what I mean? And be able to compete, right? Because I feel like because they didn't have much release this year, as far as like first party titles is concerned, they're going to really have to bring it next year, right? Because then all the talk of the town, if Microsoft has kept all their shit for next year, it would be just Xbox, 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 Xbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
we
then don't let them bring out a Call of Duty that's exclusive to Xbox only next year. This shit is really done after that. Like it would be Xbox would be the talk of the town for that. So I feel like Sony has definitely got something in the works to get released. I mean, they still got, I think they had like for the 6 live update games that they was planning on making or whatever from their first party studios. So they got those in the working. I'm still waiting to hear about that. What was it that you remember that one game Yakudoki or Todoki something or whatever, the one where you were like the little kid and you had the little
dude, yeah,
that one got a drop.
V or whatever.
Yeah, Toke V. There you go.
Yeah,
dude, that one got a drop.
Shoot.
So that's gonna be a heavy hitter possibly. So we gonna see, man.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
I definitely think that Xbox about to grab some of them big names, some of them ones that's gonna be on every console. They about to scoop some of that shit for Game Pass, bro.
Know Doke V, dude, on Game Pass.
Toke V gotta Doke V's gotta definitely be on there
for sure, dude.
Especially for it to be like multiplayer and stuff, and to try to get as many people as you possibly can, make that shit free. Yeah, get that shit active.
Definitely, bro.
Yeah, but all right, that's all we got to talk about for you this week. Appreciate anybody who stops by, clicks on the video, hit the follow, hit the subscribe, hit the like, and yeah. Until next week, play more Naraka. Deuces.
Peace.